Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. We have a very fun episode today talking about PayPal and some SoFi indicators that I saw get posted, as well as maybe some Bitcoin news if we can get around to it. But it's definitely not the highlight of the video. Before we get started, SoFi not moving in the markets today, really down 0.4%, $6.61. Nothing crazy, but there is a stock of mine that is running in the fintech world, one that is one of our most newly acquired fintechs, which is Shift4. Okay. Stock closing at $80.17, holding up at $81.42 in the after hours, up another 1.75%. Or sorry, 1.56% as of the after hours. There it is. All right. Tevis, don't start drama. Okay. I'm on time. And get ready. Now, we're going to point out Tevis and we're going to laugh at him. Made myself laugh. This dude didn't buy PayPal whenever, he was like, oh, sell me on PayPal. And me and Roy and everyone did our best to try to sell him on this company. He said, nah, boring payments company. Still boring payments company. Not going to take that away from them. They deserve it. But they got some unbelievable news today. And I'm just going to jump right into it because I think it is by far the most fun topic that we're going to see today. I'm headed over to the Apple website right now. I'll let you guys come along in the journey. Developers can soon offer in-app NFC transactions using the secure element. Okay. Starting with iOS 18.1, developers will be able to offer NFC contactless transactions using the secure element from within their own apps on iPhone, separate from Apple Pay and Apple Wallet. Okay. Using the new NFC or secure element APIs, developers will be able to offer in-app contactless transactions for in-store payments. There's a bunch of other stuff that might be very exciting to some people, but in-store payments is what we're focused on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we knew that this was coming to some extent, okay? Because obviously the EU is having a crackdown. They're saying, hey, you own the hardware here and are dominating the ecosystem. This cannot stand. But Apple is getting ahead of this and they're going worldwide. This is not an EU this is not a European change. This is a Apple global ecosystem change. So this is way bigger than what Alex, Chris, and team were expecting. This is a global change. Now, here's the funniest thing about Apple, right? Put one to one the services of Apple Pay versus PayPal. It's not even close. PayPal truly does dominate in their field because that's exclusively what they focus on. Apple Pay has been able to grow to great lengths because it has the in-store payments part of the business. But truly, there are a bunch of people who are going to switch back to PayPal knowing that they can actually make those purchases with that same device and not have to worry about Apple putting some sanctions on who can, use what depending on device, whether it's Android or Apple. So this is unbelievable. I am super excited. The market is not reacting to this right now, but I think over the next week or so, as analyst reports start to come out, I'm telling you guys right now, this is going to lead to guidance upgrades. This is going to lead to analysts writing revisions in the stock price. It's a very big deal. I don't know why the stock's not moving on this. It popped a little bit. You can see exactly when they posted it that investors started to flood into PayPal, but you should get excited about Cash App here. You should get excited for Venmo. You should get excited for PayPal. There is going to be a flood of these products coming out over the next couple bits. Now, iOS 18.1, when does it come out? Hopefully this year, sometime, November, December, something around this is what I was reading, but we don't know exactly. The fact that it's coming, muy bueno. Okay. Why would anyone switch back to PayPal from Apple Pay? All the services, the credit card, the debit card, the discount in-app services, the ability to pay in-store and Was that my watch? What was that? The ability to pay in store and online. Apple Pay is coming online. They're going to try to make some desktop, uh, products, but truthfully, PayPal already has all those services. They have 429 million users, and now you're opening those people up to make in-store payments. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a statistic, but I want it broken down in a couple understandable metrics. Okay. One, there's offline payments, which means like in store or what we would call card present. Okay, like it actually being there. Card not present transactions or online payments is really where PayPal operates. It's a $12 trillion market is the online payments industry worldwide. That's how much payments were processed in 2023. For offline or card present transactions, it's a $17.8 trillion market. It's way bigger than the actual payments that people are putting through online is offline payments. Now, it's not that PayPal has been completely void of that segment, right? They have their credit card and their debit card and these sort of factors that they've had to create in order to break into that industry, but it might not even be needed. I mean, in my opinion, you should still use it because, get that 2% cash back or 3% cash back, depending on how you're using it. But very, very exciting for the Zelle users, for the Venmo, Cash Apps, the PayPals of the world. This is going to be a very big deal. So yeah. One other thing that I wanted to highlight here is whether people are going to use digital wallets in the first place to make payments. Now, global ecom, or sorry, who made this? Let me see who made this. I thought it was Global E for a second. I was like, that's cool. No, FIS. Okay, FIS made this report, and they were showing off the transactions that people make globally, whether it's majority credit card, majority cash, majority, whatever. Let's take a look right here, and I'll show you the differences between payments made online versus payments made in store. Can I open this up and can you guys see it? No. Okay, great. That's awesome. Thanks. That works. This should work. Yeah. All right. So, digital wallets. Okay. 49% is what is currently being put through e-commerce payments right now. 54% is what's expected for digital wallets as of 2026. Whenever we look at point of sale or in-person transactions, that's only 32% right now, but expected to grow all the way to 43% of total transactions. Still the largest majority, where credit cards are expected to decline, debit cards, cash, everything else, right? So very interesting knowing that Apple Pay, PayPal, all of these services will be what people transition to. And also, there was another thing that they ended up showing off in that report, and that's the fact that people are not using cash. That's one of the other facets of that article that I thought was very fun. Cash payments are actually quite down. So cool. Hopefully that continues. My expectation is that this 11%, which I fall into, I never use cash. I was about to show you my wallet. I don't think there's anything sticking in, but I have one $5 bill in it, and I don't even want it there. I don't even know how I got that. I use my Hood credit card. Perfect. You can use your Hood credit card on PayPal if you want. Keep that information secure. Now, Hood actually is one of those companies that can actually do that internally. They can create virtual cards that will hold a different PIN than your actual card and keep it completely separated. But PayPal is another good feature, so you don't have to keep creating virtual cards, stuff like that. Um, I had the same cash in my wallet for multiple years. Wouldn't even notice if someone stole it. 100%. That's me. I need it in case of emergencies, but funny thing about emergencies, they don't happen that often. At least to me. What's the PayPal news? It's great that we're able to go back in time. You can just grab you see that little red bar right here, just and go back because I've already explained it. It has to do with Apple allowing PayPal to make some purchases. We're moving on. Okay. Another great story that, well, actually, I'll do a smaller story and then I'll move my way on to SoFi. This was also very nice to the company that is doing very well today. Shift4 breaking the $80 mark. Fun stuff. And that's not on the back of some news that there is an acquisition target or anything like this. No, just simple, continuous, merchant acquisitions and getting more clients for them that create payments over time. Beautiful. Love it. Pacers join Shift4 and they continue to dominate the stadium space. They own 75% of the total market, and that continues to grow with deals like this. Congratulations to Shift4. Congratulations to me. And yeah, I actually tweeted out that Michael Burry today, posting his 13F for Scion Asset Management, bought 100,000 shares of Shift4 this quarter. And Jared Isaacman liked my tweet, the CEO of Shift4. Now, the information that I got that from was stock market news. Evan on X. Evan also posted another very interesting piece that I thought the SoFi investors would love. All right. This stuff was also very cool. Let's take a quick peek-see. Boom. Mortgage refinancing surges 35% in 1 week as interest rate hits lowest level in over a year. Now, potentially this will continue to fall if they're starting to price in more and more rate cuts over time, that the longer term rate will, fall over time. And it has been over the last little bit, ever since Sunday, really, it's just crashed down. But that being said, or sorry, not last Sunday, the Sunday before, whenever the Japanese yen carry trade ended up happening. Is this a goose on my shirt? No, it's a pigeon wearing a bunch of jewelry and it says, "Let's get this bread." I was feeling good today. I put on my goofy pigeon shirt for Shift4 doing so well in the markets. Not a goose. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, some people will say SoFi is making a smaller percentage of their earnings from, home loans, right? It's a smaller aspect of their business. Guys, I will make a prediction here. Home loans is going to make up for the largest percentage of their loans, probably by like 2027, maybe even earlier, depending on how fast that actually scales or how fast rates end up getting cut. But that is going to grow at a significant pace, an unbelievable pace. It already has. They've broken some pretty interesting, records this quarter already. They've brought on the most amount of home loan origination since I think it was Q3 of 2021, back whenever rates were in a completely different environment, as well as they doubled their amount of purchasing loans 100% year over year in an environment where rates were still sky high. 35% of zero is what? That's not true. That's actually not true at all. So one thing that people need to realize is that although it's not advantageous for people to refinance right now, some people just simply don't have an option. I mean, they end up needing to get, they're up for renewal, and then they end up refinancing and seeing a better interest rate over time because they're just seeing a slight decrease in interest rates, and that's beneficial for them. So, yeah. Redfin will skyrocket once rates go down. Well, thank God I put it in Tevis's portfolio on X. Tanner, what's your biggest worry for SoFi going forward? I don't know. Just overall growth rates, I guess. I think the biggest issue for the markets, what's really going to hurt the stock, it's not my biggest concern because it's so easily turned around, but it will become the largest bear case, is dilution. You know, they've gone ahead and done some acquisitions, but now those acquisitions are just priced in. Technisys, growth is priced in, and I just worry about dilution. That's all. SoFi feels like a coiled spring. I can't wait until it gets a run like Shift 4. I mean, Shift 4 is getting a decent appreciation, but it still has much more to go. You've not seen dedication until you've seen Redfin CEO. I know Roy was telling me about it. But Tevis, the actual stocks that I'm putting in your portfolio was NVIDIA and Nubank. Those are the two. And the reason why it's not SoFi or Tesla or anything like that is that one of the aspects that Tevis put in that thing is that he can't hold them previously. So I don't believe that he holds those. And I can't put two? Split it. It's over 5 years, dude. I would put NVIDIA in that pile. I've been getting emails from SoFi trying to sell me personal loans and mortgage loans with specialized pricing based on my state. I mean, I also get emails from SoFi about getting a personal loan and a home loan and all that stuff, and I'm not in a state. So, yeah. I signed up as a member and then just left it and didn't do anything, and they email me all the time. B-dubs, what are you referring to, brother? It dilutes us shareholders. Tevis, when is your interview with Noto? I'd like to know that. Tanner, I want to say congrats on getting Vlad on in a few years. In a few years, that will be a run-of-the-mill interviewer. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I was going to do a recap of it, but I don't know. So I'll just do like 2 minutes on it, just really quickly, for the people who are interested in the interview. So if you guys don't know, I interviewed Vlad Tenev, the co-founder and CEO of Robinhood Markets, and it was a lot of fun. I took more of his time than I was allocated to, and they requested that I cut a small part out. So about 3 minutes of it was cut out because your boy Icarus flew a little too close to the sun, asked some questions that I don't think that they wanted the broader public to be aware that they were looking into those. But they're public to me. I mean, you can find it online. So yeah. How are you different from Amit Investing and Meet Kevin YouTube channels? Well, we don't talk about the same things at all. I talk about the things that I like to talk about, and they talk about the things that they like to talk about. It's like soda, Soda's soda, but what flavor do you like? I guess. My mom just did a SoFi personal loan, very, very tech challenged, and she bragged to me about how easy it was end to end. SoFi is different, an exciting thesis to hopefully see play out. I like that. I appreciate that. Tanner, please elaborate on your course information if you get a minute. Would like to know what it covers and entails. Uh, I mean, it covers the way that I invest. It's a framework for how I look for growth stocks that do well over long periods of time. Okay. Um, it includes a sort of checklist to relook at your portfolio in a different way and see if there's indicators to find growth stocks that will, outperform, in my opinion. It's the same way I've looked at Tesla, same way I've looked at Nvidia. It's the same way I look at SoFi, but I'm waiting. It's the same way I've looked at Shopify or Nubank or something like this. But yeah, and then on top of that, I'm using real examples that I've done in order to sort of further that thesis and adding some other things. Like I'm gonna show you guys how I chart and stuff like that, gather information in stocks and the tools that I use and stuff like that. Yeah. What's it called? Thoroughly enjoyed your interview with Vlad. Please get on Anthony Noto as well. So I did reach out to Noto. We're gonna see, but I mean, it's just probably a no. I tried to ask him just on a personal level. I'm like, just let me know why. like, what do I got to do? Do I have to be an American citizen? What is the reason you can't talk to me? Because then I'll either try to find a way to address that or simply give up on the matter. But yeah. There is another CEO that I'm talking with this month, a Fintech CEO that I'm so excited for. More excited than, well, I can't say more excited. Like Vlad was unbelievable. I was starstruck the whole time, but very excited that I'm getting the opportunity to talk to this person later on. What other questions you guys got? Anything about the Vlad thing? Hood to the moon. Hey, I think he gave amazing answers to all my questions. I think that I was trying to pull him out of a shell, and like what I don't like and what I really want to do with Noto is like the first 10 minutes of Noto's interviews, he repeats the same like things, right? We want to be a one-stop shop for saving, investing, protecting, everything like this, going through. And I just kind of want to pull him away from that and be like, how do you build a team? I don't know. How are you addressing your product concerns? How are you addressing stock-based compensation? Or I don't know. I haven't thought of a question list right now, so those probably won't even be on the list. But I'll come up with a list to ask him of questions that I would have as an investor for the longer term future for SoFi. Ross, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I've been offered other CEOs, but they're not of companies that I cover, or they might not be public companies. And I usually turn those down. I was actually offered a SoFi asset manager to come on the show, and I turned that down because that's not related. I know some people think that that's related. Like some people follow like Liz Young or something like this. It's like that is not what I could like. I'm looking at SoFi as an investment. I'm not looking at SoFi's bank advisor or like commentator on the financial markets as someone that I necessarily follow. Not saying that she's, I think she's great, but I'm not emailing her to come on the show. Did you check institutional update for SoFi? Yes, I have. It's up to 43.04%, something like that, which is going up. I didn't turn down Liz. It was some dude that ran their options trading fund, which is like, I don't care. I've talked to quite a few PMs. They're their own people. They're not the company. I don't care. Since you're a Canadian, what are your thoughts on Wealthsimple and Neo? I mean, I use both. They're awesome. They're awesome. I think the new product that Neo just put out and their new card's pretty innovative, but Wealthsimple's winning a large portion of my business because the investment part tied with the high banking and everything. But until they get options, I'm going to start moving to other platforms and taking advantage of a more sophisticated brokerage, which none of those have. Those are more banks. It's actually at 44% now. Cool. Danny give you the Goldman Sachs info? No. No. It's not my belief that Liz Young does have a handle or responsibility for SoFi's business overall. I could be wrong, but yeah. Nubank is boring to you? Dream, man, you've had some takes, but Nubank might be one of the most exciting companies I've ever looked at. Ever. Like ever. There's like Tesla, and then there's Nubank. Nubank's more exciting to me than like freaking Shopify. What's your take on SoFi brokerage? I think it's really good for basic investors. I think Wealthsimple's platform and SoFi's brokerage are very similar. They're good until you need more. You know? Please no Nubank again. Rummy, why? I don't understand this. Why do you guys not want a stock that has gone up 95% in the last year? Do you guys not foresee that company going to $100 billion? Not fundamental stuff, but the stock. It's gone up 95% over the last year. 95%. I checked today. It's a boring bank. It's the fastest growing bank in the world. It's a boring bank. Why are you watching me? That's all we talk about. Out of all the banks that I cover, it's by far the most exciting. I mean, I don't cover banks, but I cover fintechs. See, people need to swallow this pride. I talk to Tevis about this all the time. Okay, all the time. Look at the large investors. Go through the 13 Fs. Are they buying or selling Nubank in this quarter? They're buying it. You need to swallow the pride that the stock was at $3 and address it as if it's a $13 stock today. Would you buy it for its aspirations going forward? Is the peg at 1 times or is it less than that? Let me check. I think it's at a 0.7 peg or a 0.69 peg right now. That's incredibly cheap. So you didn't miss it. The opportunity is ahead of you. It's like watching Meta go from 100 to 200 and saying like, oh, missed the boat. I can't get it at the absolute lowest price, so I'm not going to hold it from 200 to 500. A doubling doesn't excite me to place a bet outside the S&P. That's fair. Yeah, I am splitting the chat. I never would have thought. Can it go to 1 trillion? It's a bank. I will honestly say yes, it can. It can. It's not about it being a bank. See, the problem is you're looking at a bank like JP Morgan saying, okay, these are the aspects that this bank can cover. But JP Morgan doesn't get into the products and services that Nubank already gets into, let alone, like, I think it would be much harder for JPM to branch into the things that Nubank is doing, but I do not think it's hard at all for Nubank to branch into what JPM is doing. Okay? So the fact that, for example, they already are by far the biggest dominator in the market in Brazil, and they grew 20% year over year in the users using the Nubank in Brazil. That's unbelievable. You guys cannot tell me one other company, not a single other one that's growing this fast. It's unbelievable. Like, this is like social media level growth in an industry. We only care about SoFi moving higher at this point. This is a SoFi cult. I mean, to an extent, I agree with you, but I can't I can't control that. I'm not here to push the price. I like the fight. This is actually like the most fun I've had is you guys disagreeing with me. All these have had boring price action. Exciting products and news is nice though. New price action has been decent, I suppose. I'm just more used to trading SPY. That's fine. What's your take on SoFi's volume falling off a cliff in the last few weeks? I don't have much of a take on it. I think people are waiting for September to see if we're going to get real rate cuts. Um, the stock is just is simply disconnected from what they're fundamentally doing. I think that leads to significant opportunities, and you're going to see it in the institutional ownership. You're already starting to see it climb. It's just where that top is. Are they going to get that to 50%, 60, 70%? Yeah, B-dubs, exactly. Like, but you see, what you don't want is to find a stock that is institutionally heavy that just has no retail activity, right? I mean, you can, like, you could, but those suck to talk about, you know? The one that's coming into my head is like Okta or something like this. Even Nubank to an extent, like a Shopify. There's not a whole lot of like retail activity covering these stocks. They don't have the cult that a Palantir or SoFi or something like this does. But retail needs to stay close to SoFi and not get so discouraged by price action. But the problem or the weakness that retail can have is, getting worried that they're missing out on things and selling stocks before they jump. Or even worse, what I think is the worst aspect to retail and what institutions do not mess up is selling once it starts to move. So if we get a move from 660 to 760 or 860, what percentage of you guys are selling SoFi? Getting into the green and cutting your losses versus watching it go to 10, 11, 12 plus. I'm not. Yeah, that might work. Honestly, I'm not buying more SoFi until Noto comes on your show. I'm gonna send him that clip. Not I. Not me. No. They're talking about not selling whenever it starts to run. B-dubs, what was your price? 1750. You're not selling before that? I cannot. I honestly, I'm blown away by the conversations that we've had around Nubank. That like it is the most exciting company I've ever looked at in this industry. What's the pink glowing thing on the shelf behind you? It's a light. It's a lamp, light thing. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all for me today. I didn't realize how long we went on talking some Nubank crap. Can retail slash cults make a difference aside from short squeezes? Absolutely. I mean, well, the only thing that I think makes a significant difference in stocks is the fundamentals, but of course, retail can make a very, very large difference. Most importantly, if there is a strong enough retail audience, you can also change how the fundamentals do because you guys are also customers. Be customers of the products and services that you love. That's why I love stocks so much over, I don't know, playing video games or something like this, because they might as well be similar. But uh, the companies that we're seeing, you've been doing it too long once you actually start celebrating seeing those products in real life. So use SoFi's products. You like Tesla, buy a Tesla vehicle. Become that's where I think cults can really do well. It's like using their products. And unlike Palantir or something like that, which the only way retail really gets interconnected with their products is like buying merch, SoFi can make continuous revenue from you guys. And that's great. You're using those products and you're benefiting the stock price in the same. And yeah. What do you think your next move slash stock is? I I don't know. Very when I find it, I'll let you know. But I mean, I love my portfolio right now. I love it. I'm very heavy in growth and all tech stocks aside from a couple ones that I still consider growth in tech, but they might just be sort of tech adjacent. Um, but yeah, I don't necessarily have I don't have a move in terms of selling certain positions and buying new ones right now. I'm very much getting a paycheck and throwing a sizable amount into markets and continuing to DCA whenever I have liquidity. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. But bye for now.